Fans of the Horus Heresy, Warhammer 40,000 and really large grav tanks, thank you very much for joining me to go through the poll results of the second pointless but fun poll on channel Leakycheese. And this poll was all to do with what people thought of the upcoming super heavy space marine tank from Forge World, the Astraeus. What I asked you to do was vote either on Twitter or in the comments of the YouTube video, and I've been away, I've added the results up, I've done some pretty graphics, and in this video I'm going to take you through what this highly unscientific but trustworthy poll tells us. So we've got a nice little graphic sheet as usual. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through everything. Right, so firstly let's start off with the info. So there are a total of 115 votes cast this time, 68 of these on Twitter and 47 in the comments of the YouTube video. I thought about the bias on this poll. You know, with statistics, it's important to understand biases. And I think this fits into the category of a call positive bias poll. And finally, then we think about the confidence interval. Well, I couldn't work out what the confidence interval was on this statistical analysis. I think it probably needs some specialized mathematics. For example, some floating point analysis might do the trick. Here is a chart that tells us what the results are. Let me explain you what it means. On this axis, we have percentage of votes cast in 10% blocks, all the way up to 40%. And across the bottom, we've got the answers that were available. So we'll run through the answers. No Grimdark equals no buy. Hell yeah, gimme gimme. Looks great in Halo. And I have to pay for food. So yes, those are the four options that you could vote in this poll. And of course, this was in the answer to the question of the Astraeus Super-Heavy Tank makes me think. Right, let's run through what the results were. And what I'm going to do is actually going to start with the most popular category, which was this, which was I have to pay for food. And 43 people voted that, which was 37% of the total 115 votes cast. The reason I'm dealing with this one first is this third of the voters, I guess it's not a surprise given the fact that this is going to be a huge expensive model. A number of people voted either to say that it was too expensive for them, so all you students, or that you had other things you wanted to pay for in the hobby. So there you go. I have to pay for food was 37%. So that's kind of like the group of people who aren't interested in buying this model under any circumstances, which then leaves us with three categories, which very interestingly tell us what the opinion was. The first one was no Grimdark equals no buy, and 18 people voted for this, giving it 16% of the total votes cast. For a little bit of styling, I decided to do some skulls of various types. For some reason, a skull and crossbones sneaked in there. I must have been feeling a bit piratical. But anyway, there they go. So this is basically the group of people who say the Astraeus Super-Heavy Tank doesn't fit with the Imperium and or the Space Marines. So stylistically it's wrong. 16% of the total people, or about 1 in 6. So yeah, quite a number of people are put off by the look of this tank straight away. The next category is hell yeah, gimme gimme. And this got 22% of the votes, which is 25 votes. And here is my dreadful attempt at drawing the Astraeus Super-Heavy Tank. To try and make it clearer, I put lots of motion wibbles around it. Just, you know, you can imagine it floating around. A bit like this ruler, really annoying. So 22%, so slightly over 1 in 5 people. I thought this was interesting because given the fact that this is a big expensive model and it's got quite, shall we say, it's got very divergent styling to what we've seen previously in Space Marine and Imperial forces. I thought this was quite a high percentage of people who supported it, particularly when you consider this group on the left as a market who actually might buy it. So of that group, it's actually more like 45% probably. And thinking back to my last highly scientific poll, this clearly says that the model, which, you know, possibly controversial, was a lot more popular than the 30th anniversary Primaris Space Marine Sergeant in terms of did you want to get it, basically. Interesting. And then the final category is this one here, which is looks great in Halo. And that got 25% of the total votes cast, or 29 votes. So that's about 1 in 4. I was going to draw a little Master Chief in similarly terrible graphics as that, but I left my green pen. So I went for purple because that was the colour of the Covenant, and well, yeah. And I decided just to express my opinion on the entire Halo computer game series in a handful of words. So this was interesting as well because this is kind of like a group of people who like the look of a tank, but they think it's completely out of universe in Warhammer 40,000. And the reason I put looks great in Halo is because the Astraeus bears more than a passing resemblance to the Scorpion tank of UNSC from the Halo series. And those of you who've played any of the Halo games will remember how much fun you can have in the Scorpion. And let's be honest, it's a lot of fun. I can't decide if I preferred the showdown in the original Halo game, where you get to drive the Scorpion, or when you get to drive it on the desert planet in Halo 3. Can't make my mind up there. Then again, the bit in Halo ODST when you get in the tank and drive it around the streets of New Mombasa, that was also great. Sorry, I went off topic there. I was having a few Halo reminiscence moments. So clearly there's a lot of people who like the tank, but feel that it doesn't fit in some way in the 40k universe. And this is kind of like the positive version of this. I think this group of people are kind of like saying, no, I'm not interested in buying it because it's not grimdark at all. This group of people are saying, I like the tank, but as a 40k tank? Really? But as a 40k Space Marine tank? Really? Not sure about that. So perhaps overall, actually, when you look at it, there is actually overall a pretty positive response to this tank in a way, because these two here, 22 and 25%, so nearly half of everybody, thought that the tank does look good. Now, the majority of that group of people, I think, are probably, even if they were in the market to buy one, they're umming and ahhing about it because it's so dissimilar to everything that's come before it in 40k. Interesting. So there you have it, results of another pointless but fun poll on channel Leakycheese. As always, share your comments and thoughts, opinions in the comments. Feel free to start a flame war as to who was best between these two makers of Halo. Obviously, anyone who answers 343 Studios is wrong. I'll be very interested to hear. Other than that, I'd just like to say thank you very much for watching. I'll speak to you next time, and goodbye.